Start recording, start recording. So now, Karibu. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Albert Kudi. Now, P. Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, aka Sean Combs. After all the noise we had before, after all the media explosion, after all the accusations, was finally sentenced. Yes. In such a whimper. It was a whimper. it's like I don't know. There's something odd. Just how big it was. I was expecting that when he was sentenced, there was going to be an equal response, as when the Cassie's video came out of him beating her up in the hotel and whatnot. But as it is, let's listen in what he got. Yeah, in my opinion, this was such. I think P Diddy got to a point where he rubbed some powerful people the wrong way, but he had a lot of dirt on a lot of powerful people also. So a lot of the noise, the media coming out saying he was doing the parties and whatnot, it would seem, at least from the way things have turned out, that most of them were consensual. When people are going to be P Diddy'd for deals, or to hang out, to wear dresses, all that was consensual. So they got him on. Anyway, let's listen into Sky News. Diddy sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. I wonder how many, when people tell you more than 4 years, is it 5, 10, 4 and 1 week? For 4 years and anyway, let's listen into Sky News.
Quite literally in the last.
So it's sentenced in so they were having the case on prostitution. Kweli, prostitution. That's all that was. There was racketeering, sijui nini. In the end, it was just prostitution. I thought these guys I thought they had an airtight case, but well.
Few seconds, the judge handing down his sentence to Sean Diddy Combs, who he has ruled will spend 50 months in prison. So that's just over 4 years in prison for his crimes.
So 4 years, 2 months. They say it's more than 4 years. I swear, the mainstream. Can't you just tell people? But anyway, I get it. That it's to draw in attention. But most people just read headlines. So I think there needs to be some level of, some professionalism. Try not to.
Sean Combs has already been in prison for just over a year. So that means he will spend a further 3 years in prison. It's towards the lower.
So he gets credit for 1 year time spent. Hey, this guy, whatever he did. You see, like what the prostitution. I personally think if it's just the prostitution thing, then it's not. It should be like 2 months, because what, some of these laws, I suspect in America, they're not there really to help anyone. It's just like a got you law. Like if you do something, it's just doesn't make any sense. Because people purchase punani, people purchase pudesh regularly. In America, in fact, many states have legalized it. So anyway, there's something about flying someone over for it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
End of the potential maximum sentence.
Maybe the Americans who watch this can tell me how does that law really, is it severe? Is it even, considering that a lot of things, the way you guys talk about the freedoms or what you do, it just seems a bit contrived in a way. Maybe it's a law in there, but it really isn't. It's not something you'd put someone in jail for 4 years for, especially if it's a willing transaction, which I presume the most of those were. I guess there's some ladies who wanted to get paid, and they double down on that. And the thing is, if he goes to jail now, maybe they bring a civil case later. PD is going to see fire because now they haven't gotten paid except Cassie. I don't know who else has gotten paid. I guess a few others. But yeah, let's
for the
continue.
2 counts of trafficking for prostitution, of which he was found guilty back in the summer. The prosecution had asked for him to serve more than 11 years. The defence team had asked for him
Come on, 11 years for that. No, yeah.
to be sentenced to 14 months.
I personally don't think it should be illegal per se, because it's the way prostitution operates in OnlyFans. You're seeing online these days, people just meet on Instagram, Tinder, whatnot. Like it's legal in more ways than one. Like no, it's very difficult. Like I even where like in like very strict countries, you'll find that it's done discreetly in a manner, but it's done. It's one of those things that's very difficult to police because everybody's kind of in agreement that we want this thing and we're not going to snitch. Okay.
Judge deciding, as I say, that Sean Combs will spend just over 4 years in total in prison, so 3 more years. In handing down this sentence, the judge, Arun
By the way,
Subramanian,
PDD played a very cool game of being apologetic, man. Even during this court, you're saying, guys, I'm sorry for the things that I've done, man. God forgive me. He went the whole thing. It's done. I think PDD is just going to continue. He'll probably get out of jail, start a podcast, and it will be a bad views. When he's out telling people, you see, if I was PDD, let me tell you something. If I was PDD, I'll come out and now just start, all these guys who've distanced themselves talking nonsense. Now just start telling, yeah, this guy came this time. In fact, he was being denied. He was being, how did that thing called? He was being fingered in the behind by this, and he liked it. And then there's this big ass basketballer who came and he said he wanted to feel how it will be so much drama. He should come out with straight fire and tell us what they were doing in those parties. With all that oil, that baby oil.
said the court rejects that this is just a story of sex, drugs and rock and roll.
That's basically it. Let's just, it doesn't matter what they say. You do it from assessing what they've charged him for. That's just what
He
it
said
is.
that Sean Combs had abused the power and control he had with the women that he professed to love.
That is not. You see, like one of those things. Those things are very hard to prove. Also, it's like you have controlling a woman. Sometimes you just tell a woman, "I want to give you money if you don't," and she'll do. She has the choice to go, right? So it's a lot of those things is personal accountability and things.
He said that Combs had abused them physically, emotionally and
The
psychologically.
physical, I suspect, see, the for Cassie, we just saw the physical and everything. I guess, and you see, the worst thing about that is that once you take the money, for me, I've washed my hands. Secondly, if somebody does that and you stay, also I wash my hands because what? You guys like piling all those excuses for the people who stay. Why can't you just leave? You can, but you want to keep the money at the same time. So you are like, okay, you can smack me around, but I have to get some money. I mean, that is the corruption that you've inserted here in the victimhood Olympics. Oh, everybody's a victim. Oh, this. Oh, that's like coercing. If you're powerful, people come to you. Some people take advantage. Sometimes it's just legitimate taking advantage. What do you want? You want my money? And Pudesh. Punani. And then what do there was a woman do? Okay. Here's the Pudesh. Here's the money.
As a reminder, Sean Combs had been acquitted of the more serious.
But the Hollywood has a lot of prostitution. A lot of Hollywood. Just Hollywood entertainment, generally speaking. A lot of prostitution, because there are a lot of degenerates in the arts, unfortunately. If I'm in there.
Charges of which he had been accused, charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, but was found guilty of sex trafficking for prostitution. It's been an emotional sentencing hearing in court today. It's lasted almost the whole day. The court heard from 6 of Sean Combs' children, all of his adult children. In fact, they cried as they directly addressed the judge, begging the judge to let their father return home today. Sean Combs.
I'm sure a lot of his kids were involved. These older kids, they're grown-ass men. In fact, I was seeing they were leaving after he went to jail for a bit. Guys were going to ball all over the place. But it just felt like one of those things is like they understood that. Because this looks like he has very strong, a lot of evidence and a lot of information against very powerful people. And said, okay, judge, find something. What do you think in America? Yeah. Yes, money and power also may get you shorter sentences.
Listened to them. He had his head in his hands. He was sobbing too. On the other hand, the prosecution was saying that Sean Combs hadn't showed contrition for his crimes. They said that he was already booking speaking engagements in Miami for next week in the hope, the expectation that he would be released from jail. They said that he'd shown the height of hubris and didn't show.
It doesn't matter. He's basically gotten away because I don't think he'll even live like a harsh life in jail. If I'm Diddy, that like mafia business, just get in there, tell you what, I have money, what? He can find ways to get paid in there and he'll be protected. What do you mean? Once this is 3 years, he has 3 years to go. Before we know it, it will be over and we'll be out. There'll be pandemonium. I hope there's pandemonium. Content.
The requisite amount of guilt for his crimes. Sean Combs, just in the last few minutes, in fact, addressed the judge directly himself. It's the first time he's spoken at such length in court. He said to the judge, I lost my self-respect. I have been humbled and broken to my core. I hate myself right now. I've been stripped down to nothing, he said. I am truly sorry for it all, no matter what they say. He also issued a public apology to his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Much of the prosecution centred around his relationship with Ventura and the allegation that he'd forced her to partake in drug-fueled sex marathons with male prostitutes. The court also...
She basically said she was helping him set up those parties. And all. The thing is, the parties, they're funny, they're degenerate, but I don't think they're illegal. So unless now when you go to the physical and the force and all. So those are the things that... Because if there was like physical, grape, they would have put him away for a very long time. So this is very like, okay, somebody came, you paid them for Punani or side B. He's a side B guy, so he could have paid for side B.
Shown repeatedly a video of him beating Cassie viciously in a hotel corridor in Los Angeles several years ago. Combs said that he wanted to publicly apologise to Ventura for the physical.
The guy is playing his PR game like just top notch. He's not even trying to play rough, whatever. He's just like, because he knows he has a career after this.
Emotional and psychological abuse that she had endured at his hands. It will be up to her and his other victims to decide if justice has been served with this just over 4-year prison sentence.
Martha, what happens next? He obviously stays in police custody, but there is no more appeal at his disposal, is there?
Why would he just do the 3 years
this will be it. Sean Combs will return to his cell. He complained in a letter which he had previously sent to the judge about the conditions he was being held in. He says he lives in daily fear of being stabbed, even killed while he is incarcerated. But he will return to prison. I think his team will be relatively pleased with this sentence. The pre-sentencing guidelines.
You see, everybody's trying to make it like they just know, like, hey, after all the noise we made, this is all he got. that's what's going on.
Had suggested that Sean Combs should spend between 6 and 7 years in prison. The judge has gone against those pre-sentencing guidelines and sentenced him to just over 4 years. Of course, when Sean Combs comes out of prison, those children, the ones who spoke today, and his youngest child, who's just 2 years old, they will be much older. His career will be unrecognisable from what it
Come on.
was. His fortune will be much depleted. He is still fighting many of these cases, civil lawsuits, so he still may have much more money to pay out in those civil lawsuits. So
the thing is, whatever he has to, he'll still remain with quite a bit of money to live very nicely off. Now, I don't know. The thing is, on this particular case, just I was very surprised. Like I was waiting for the noise, the hashtags, the what? Nothing. It's because I think after the Casi Ventura's showing in the courts, people just knew, hey, this thing has been diluted. And I think people are railed up to think there's something more than there was. But that's probably it. I mean, they do the things they do, but they're not illegal. If you like baby oil, you like baby oil. Like that's what it is. It is what it is. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about the video. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know. What up? ADCM time. Subscribe to the channel. And then like the video for the algorithm. And until next time.